Some of you might remember that a few months ago I was given the amazing opportunity to do an AMA on UC Davis's Instagram. And because I'm always looking at UC Davis's content on this channel, I thought it would only make sense to go back and look at it and review how I did. And so today you and I are going to take a trip to the past and review my UC Davis AMA. And before this video starts, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. It doesn't really do anything for you, but it helps me out a lot. So thanks if you do that. Okay, let's do this. Hey everyone, my name is Gauruv Virk. I'm a fourth year electrical engineering major here at UC Davis and a member of Stream, UC Davis's newest student social media team. And today I'm going to be answering some of the questions that you guys left me. Okay, it's a solid start, pretty much nailed it. I would say flawless, immaculate, perfect. Really, it doesn't get much better than this. Okay, no, I'm usually harder on Davis's content, so I will be a little more critical, I promise. I won't just be stroking my already incredibly inflated ego. My favorite snack? I would definitely say anything from Sweet and Savory, which is downtown Davis. Highly recommend it. Or there's a candy bar called whatchamacallit. Those are really good too. Yes, Sweet and Savory. Sweet and Savory is my goddamn shit, man. It is so good. I've only been there twice in the past year because but I used to put in work at Sweet and Savory. I went through, I think I'm right now on my 6th punch card at that place. In fact, actually, I think I have my first 2. Yeah, here they are. I don't know why, but a while ago, Sweet and Savory had these free frames that you could grab if you wanted to. And so I actually have my first ever punch card from Sweet and Savory framed as like a little, achievement. So I'll always have my first punch card at Sweet and Savory. I highly endorse them. I used to have that series on my channel, the Wilt Week series. At least the second half of the Wilts, I would always say eat Sweet and Savory at the end of them because I just think they're amazing. I'm a big fan. I support anything Sweet and Savory does. Unless they get scandalous. Then I will have to seriously reconsider. But I'll still probably forgive them. Sweet and Savory, in my opinion, is Davis's hidden gem. I love them. Also, I think it's funny that the first question was, what's your favorite snack? Because, someone might tune in because they're like, oh, what are Davis students like? Or, I'm an electrical engineering major. So they're like, oh, maybe I'll learn more about engineering. And then the first question they give me is, oh, what's your favorite snack? Really just the hard-hitting questions. My favorite hobby would definitely be making YouTube videos. But besides that, I like playing basketball and video games. Amazing, self-plug, flawless, while still sprinkling in some other hobbies. I mean, just a well-done, shameless promotion. Oh wait, no, I'm supposed to be critical of myself. What a loser, self-promoting himself. What does he think he is, huh? Just getting on here, just be like, oh, look at me. How about you tone down the hubris, pal, huh? Out of hand. It's Why electrical engineering? Well, I'm good at math, I think, and I like problem solving and finding solutions to everyday problems, so this major was kind of one that seemed like it fit me the best. Beautiful non-answer. Really didn't even say anything. Why electrical engineering? Well, let me hit you with a joke to distract you and then say a very general statement so I don't actually have to answer this question. Beautiful! Oh my god, a masterclass in avoiding hard questions. I love it. Oh wait, no, I'm supposed to be critical. Damn it. Look at this idiot. Not even answering the question. Look at him just tiptoe around it like a loser. Oh my god. This is what Davis has to offer? Unbelievable. I picked UC Davis over other schools because every time I visited, it seemed really chill, and the people seemed super nice, and plus you can bike anywhere. So, that's really good for the environment and your health. It's true, Davis is really chill. I have to give him that. And I did notice that when I first came here as a touring high schooler. And the accessibility by bike, to be honest, wasn't something that drew me into Davis, but I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to highlight biking in Davis. If we're being completely honest, I hadn't ridden a bike in years, and I actually spent the whole summer before I came to college just relearning how to ride a bike. And now it's super easy, I can hop on a bike and remember it like it's nothing. It's almost like riding a bike. Okay, so I actually like online school more. I go to more office hours now. I can watch more lectures anytime I want in the day. I just think overall it's more convenient. I agree with that. I think that's true. It is more convenient just because there's that travel time taken out of it. Like if you have a class and then another teacher has office hours just right after that class, you don't have to spend the time traveling to get there. You can take that time to maybe, I don't know, grab a snack or chill out a little bit. and there's not this pressure to always be going to the next thing. Now with online, you know, maybe the workload increases because teachers for some reason think that their class is the only class you're taking. So workload is pretty hard, and you know, that makes it to where it seems like you're always having to do something. But physically getting from place to place is eliminated, and to me that's been more convenient in my schooling experience. So as kind of like a summary, I like how convenient online school is, but the workload is still insane. I don't think that would have changed if we were in person, but I feel like it's a little less forgiving when you're online. Like I had a teacher give us a project last quarter, and it wasn't initially a group project. So someone asked, oh, can we make this a group project? And the teacher said, oh, that's something I'll look into. But because you guys would be working in groups, I'm going to increase the difficulty of the project so it scales with working with a group. And that is ridiculous. And so for that, I think online school sucks, but it is very convenient, so I prefer it over in person. But these teachers are wilding out for no reason. First off, thank you so much. And I manage them how I would manage anything else. I just make a schedule and I try to stick to it as best I can. And most of the time it doesn't work out. My favorite class I've taken at UC Davis is called AMS 21, Objects in Everyday Life. And my favorite part of that class was being able to visit the Mendelschram Museum and then write a report on it. It was really cool to see it and learn more about the history behind it. It's tough because as an engineering major, you don't really take that many fun classes. There's so many core classes that you have to take that it doesn't leave that much room for exploring outside of your major. And so I didn't really have an answer to this question because I haven't really done any fun classes at Davis. So I picked AMS 21, and it is true. I visited the Mendelschram Museum because of this class for the first time. So that was great, but it's not like this class stuck out for me. Like until I actually rewatched this, I forgot I took that class. A first-year electrical engineering major, I would say have a long-term plan because this major has so many units and a lot of the classes have prerequisites, so having that plan would keep you from ever falling behind. That's true. I mean, I guess that's why I said it. But sometimes the problem I run into is some classes are prereqs for other classes. So creating this flow diagram of your 4 years is very important because there's certain requirements you have to meet to move on to the next portion of our flow diagram. And plus, some classes aren't offered every quarter. So making sure you take those classes when you can take them and that they meet the prereq for the next class is super important. And because there's so many units that you have to complete for this major, it's very important that this flowchart that you create actually works out, or you're going to find yourself having to take more quarters at UC Davis. So yeah, great advice, Gauruv. Oh my God, who is this guy? And handsome too. Wow. Favorite video game? Oh my God. Okay, there's a game I've been playing for like 7 or 8 years since it's been in beta called Smite, and besides that, basically any Lego Star Wars game is top notch. So okay. Confession time. I made this AMA and then felt guilty because I love Lego Star Wars, yes, but I haven't played it in probably over a decade. So a week after this went live, I actually bought Lego Star Wars on Steam and I beat half the game in one night just because I felt so guilty that I said, oh, I play this game, and I really hadn't in a while. So, but now, you know, I can say it is a really dope game, and I love it. So, are you going to grad school? No, I'm not. I found in the engineering world, it's better to get as much hands-on experience as possible, but if after a few years I found that it'd be worth it to go back to grad school, I'd consider it. Definitely not ruling it out. That was just a polite way to say, fuck no. Good way to get research or internships is just network with people. Talk to professors that are doing research in something you're interested in, and just ask them if you can shadow them. And you'll get some no's, but all you need is one yes. So I would just ask a professor. True. Yeah, you just gotta play buddy-buddy with professors, I guess. I mean, you know, I could talk a lot about this, but I think just one sentence that really would go far for this is, most of the time I've found it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. So take that for whatever you want to take it as. This one, don't sweat it. You got time. Keep working hard. Remember, applications are a holistic review of a student. So just because you're not hot in one category doesn't mean you can't shine in others. Just keep up the hard work and stay optimistic. Yeah, basically. If you tripped up early doesn't mean you can't get back up. Just get up. The longer you spend on the ground wondering, can I get up, when you could have just gotten up, is time wasted. So don't sweat anything, just, try your best to keep moving forward, I guess. What it took me until college to realize, I didn't realize this in high school, is that if you get a bad grade, it is definitely not the end of the world. It does feel like the end of the world, but it is not. Did you always know what you wanted to major in when you started college? Kinda. I always knew I wanted to do engineering, but I didn't know which type. It wasn't until I came to Davis that I was able to hone in on electrical, and ever since I made my decision, I've loved every second of it. Loved every second of it, Gauruv? Okay. Yeah, I came in as computer engineering, then as a sophomore I switched to electrical because computer engineering was like, oh, we're gonna make you code forever. And I was like, oh, that wasn't what I wanted to do. So your boy switched to electrical engineering, and apparently I loved every second of it. But I think later in the video you'll see why I said that. Are the professors for engineering courses good? Do they lecture well? I think they're understanding and sensitive to the needs of the students, which creates a really good environment for students to succeed in. So I would say yeah. Yeah, those are all the questions. Thank you guys. Okay. This question is actually the whole reason I wanted to make this video. You see, mere minutes after this AMA went live on UC Davis's Instagram story, I got a DM on Instagram from an engineering friend of mine. And this DM from this engineering friend of mine was the clip we just watched with a message below it that said, okay, I'm genuinely curious. Are these your true thoughts? I've had a rough time with professors, LOL. And we started messaging back and forth, and I'm not going to tell you what I messaged back to her, but I can tell you a story instead. Once upon a time, there were two couples. Couple 1, Tim and Steve, and couple 2, Greg and Victor. One day, Tim and Steve, being the gregarious duo they are, graciously invited Greg and Victor to their house for dinner. And Greg and Victor, of course, accepted. Fast forward to the day of the dinner, we see Greg and Victor arrive at the front door of Tim and Steve's house, where they're greeted by a tired young man in his early 20s that they had never seen before. Now, Greg and Victor knew Tim and Steve didn't have kids of their own, but instead had this weird thing for adopting exclusively adults, so Greg and Victor understood that this young man must be one of them. Just then, Tim and Steve emerged at the door of their house to greet the newcomers, and they were dressed better than Greg and Victor had ever seen before. It was almost like they were real estate agents showcasing a house. It was truly a sight to see. Tim and Steve asked the newly arrived couple, any trouble finding the place? To which the couple said, oh, not at all, you can't miss it. The place is huge. Steve says, well, it is the biggest house you see on the street. Tim gets things moving along and says, well, you're just in time for dinner, but we'd be remiss if we didn't treat you to a house tour first. And so the four journeyed through the house, and Greg and Victor could not believe their eyes. The house was bespoke and not a thing out of place. In short, it was perfect. The tour concluded in the dining room, which was a windfall, because by this point, both couples were famished. Tim and Steve took to the kitchen to get the food ready, leaving Greg and Victor to compare notes in the dining room. Greg looks at Victor and says, God, this place is amazing. I mean, it's got everything you could ever want. Victor agrees. Yeah, during the whole tour, this place just felt like home, you know? It's just perfect. Now, Greg and Victor were so inundated with good things to say about the chateau that they didn't even realize the young man was listening nearby. The young man says to the couple, so you think the place is perfect, huh? Victor goes, oh, it's flawless. The young man seems to correct Victor. Well, almost flawless. Greg says, no, I mean really, the place is immaculate. The young man inquires, they didn't show you the basement, did they? The couple doesn't recall visiting a basement. The young man says, follow me. He takes them both to this dark corner of the house that they surmised they missed in the initial tour. This dark corner is equipped with a stairwell that they took leading them down to the aforementioned basement. The young man says, well, here it is. Greg and Victor cannot believe their eyes. The basement is a wreck. It's dirty, everything's broken, and it's cold. Victor looks at the young man and asks, what is all of this? The young man says, this is everything Tim and Steve can't get rid of, but it's too horrid to put on display. Now Greg asks the young man, And why are you showing us this?" To which the young man responded by saying, "When Tim and Steve adopted me at 18 and I gave consent, I was shown the rest of the house too. But over the past few years, I found that this basement is where I spend most of my time. The thing is, as long as Tim and Steve are the ones showing you the house, it will look perfect. And as long as Tim and Steve are around, I'm pretty much forced to tell you the house is perfect too. So while the house is almost near perfect, it's important to me that people understand that the basement is part of the house too."